Hello viewers, welcome to Simple Accounting channel. This is Uttam sir. Today I am going to discuss the income statement of public limited company, PLC, public limited company. If it is the sole proprietorship business or the partnership business, the income statement, any income statement is accepted. But whenever you are going to do the income statement of public limited company, then there is the formalities. This is to be guided by the company law or the instruction given in the company law. You have to follow that. So most of the cases, whenever you are going to do the income statement, then obviously some additional workings and some additional computation is to be required. Maybe the 4 or 6 additional computation is to be required. Maybe first of all, you have to find the net sales or net turnover. Sales minus returns is the net turnover, net sales. Then you have to find the cost of sales. So first, cost of sales is not a single element, a combination of elements. So you have to find the cost of sales, and what is the cost of sales in total, that is to be come to the income statement. Again, you have to do the other income. What is the element of other income, that also be calculated separately. Again, you have to calculate the administrative cost and the distribution cost separately. So what is the content of administrative cost, what is the content of this distribution cost, that also be calculated separately. The total figure is to come to the income statement. This is the reporting form. This is called the reporting form. This is guided by the company law. So whenever you are going to do the income statement, first of all, this 5 or 6 what additional computation or additional workings is to be completed first. First of all, what is the content of cost of goods sold? The content of cost of goods sold, which is highlighted in the board, just you have to check it, you have to follow it. Here some of the cost is over here. This is the cost of sales, other income, financial cost, distribution cost and administrative cost. These items you have to do before starting the income statement. This is very vital. What the elements is normally included in the cost of goods sold, that all are provided over here. More or less, this item you have to find to your question paper. So you have to, when the question paper you have to get maybe some of the tables is given and some additional information also be given. From that additional information and the tables, you have to do this information provided in the tables or additional information. This is need to be adjusted, and that cost of goods sold or the other income or other expense or the distribution cost or the administrative cost, whatever it is, that is to be calculated separately, and neat amount is to come to the income statement. What is the content? Now I am going to discuss what is the content of cost of goods sold. Whenever you are going to calculate the cost of goods sold, then obviously you have to take the production cost or the factory cost, factory related all cost, maybe come to the cost of goods sold. What they are, one by one I am going to discuss that. Please make a patient hearing to me. First of all, this is the cost of goods sold. First element is that whenever you are going to produce something, then you have to buy some of the raw materials. So raw material cost is the first one. So that is to be written first. Material cost or raw material cost, which normally be needed to produce the product. Second one, discount receipt. Discount receipt means whenever you are going to buy the raw material, that company may allow some of the discount to you. This is the cash discount. Maybe you are paying the money immediately or early. That's why you are getting some of the discount. So discount is one of the income for you. That's why it is to be subtracted. So discount receipt is subtracted. The figure is in the bracket. It is mean subtracted. Then the labor cost, wages cost, direct labor, productive labor, whatever, factory labor, whatever it is, all costs are included in the labor or wages, which normally to the worker working over there, their salary or wages is said as labor or wages. This is one of the expenses. Then depreciation on factory. In the factory, the big building is over there, big floor is over there. So some of the depreciation according to the company law or the principle, the depreciation is to be charged. Some percentage of depreciation is to be charged on the factory building. So that is to be written over here. This is one of the element of cost of goods sold. Depreciation on factory. Then depreciation on machinery. That a lot of machinery is to be used in the factory floor. So all the machinery need to be depreciated. Depreciation means some of the using cost of the machineries or the instrument or the tools which is using in the factory. That is the depreciation. That all depreciation is to come over here. So it is one of the element of cost of goods sold. Factory power and fuel. Whenever the factory is over there, maybe lot of turbine or other elements or device will be used for the production. So power is to be used, fuel is to be used. So that fuel and power cost is to come to the factory fuel and power. Factory maintenance, lot of machineries, lot of tube lights, lot of other device is using in the factory. So there's a lot of maintenance cost. So maybe that need to be replaced or like that. So all the maintenance cost of the factory is to come over here. So this is one of the element of cost of goods sold. Then the production manager or production directors, their salary or the facilities provided to the production manager or the production director, that expense also the one of the element of cost of goods sold. This is written over here. Factory production manager or factory manager or production director, all the same. If this element is given in the question paper, obviously you have to take under the cost of goods sold. Then research and development cost. It is one of the important element for any progressive company. Those who has the vision, those who are interested to be survive for the longer period, long-term investment over there. So research and development is one of the important factors of the cost of production. Then hire of machinery. Sometimes what the installation over the factory, maybe that is not sufficient enough. Sometimes company is hiring some of the another machineries or more another machineries from other organization else. So whenever you going to hire them, then obviously some of the cost is to be involved over there. This is the hiring of machineries. So that cost also be written over here under the cost of sales. Then the factory rent. Maybe you don't have any own premises, factory premises. Sometimes you are hiring some of the spaces, and for that you have to provide some of the rent. This is the factory rent. That is also written over here. Then factory overhead. Then any indirect expenses which is normally taken place in the factory is said the factory overhead. Maybe the packaging or indirect wages, indirect materials like this. This is the factory overhead. So if the factory overhead is there, that is to be written under the cost of sales. Then a stock adjustment. This is the one of the complicated item for any student. That a stock adjustment. What is called stock adjustment? A stock adjustment may be the work in progress or partly finished goods. They have the stock, the opening stock as well as the closing stock. Maybe the inventory, one of the stock, that also be opening and the closing. So the adjusted figure, maybe the opening minus closing, the figure you got, that figure is the adjusted stock or adjusted inventory. So here a stock adjustment is written. First of all, that work in progress. Work in progress means the partly finished goods is written. Opening minus closing. The figure you got. Maybe the opening balance is higher than the closing balance. That is to be add up with the cost of goods sold. If the closing balance is higher than the opening balance, then it is to be subtracted. So like this, work in progress, opening minus closing. The figure is written over here. Finished goods. Opening minus closing. Finished goods may also be available in the factory. So opening finished goods and the closing finished goods over there. So Opening minus closing, that is the figure, this is the adjusted stock, is to be written over here. If the closing is a higher figure, then it is to be subtracted. Now the total amount you have to add up. The figure you got, that is closes. This is the element of cost of goods sold. This only item, this figure, which figure you got here by addition, then this figure is to go to the income statement. So one of the element is completed. Another element, the other income, you see in the board, the other income. What are the other income for the factory or the company? The maybe if the company is the big enough, then some of the element is over here. Canteen sales. Canteen sales, maybe the canteen is normally be installed by the organization so that the worker can get their tiffin at a lower cost. So tiffin sales, this is the canteen sales is like that. This is one of the income for the organization. Tiffin is normally those are the worker in the tiffin period. They go over there and subsidized rate. They are getting their tiffin at a subsidized rate. So this is the canteen sales. Again, rent received, another item, maybe some of the spaces which is used by other organization, getting some of the rent. This is the rent received. Also the income, other income, not the ordinary income, this is other extraordinary income, that is the rent received. Then interest received. What is interest received? Interest received means maybe the company could have some liquid money or some of the money which is invested in the fixed deposit account. So some of the interest is to be received from that bank where it is deposited. That is the interest received. So interest is over there. Again, the dividend received, maybe some of the liquid money which is available in the business, the company need to be utilize that money properly, and within time they can invest that money to the different public limited companies shares. So that company may provide some of the dividends, that is called the dividend received. So this figure also be received. More or less this 4 or 5 item is over there which to be received by the business. So this is written as other income. The figure, total figure is got, that figure is over here. And then the financial cost. What is called the financial cost? Whenever the public limited company they have the shares, they have the debenture, they are taking loan like this. This is the capital which is provided by the other people, maybe the debentures. Some of the people who buy that your company's debenture, they are subject to give some of the interest. Maybe you are taking some of the loan from the bank, so you have to provide some percentage of interest to that bank. Maybe sometimes you are taking the overdraft facilities of the company, overdraft facility from some of the banking company. Then they have to charge some of the interest on overdraft. So all those are the interest expense. This is detailed. Interest on debenture, interest on bank loan, interest on bank overdraft, whatever it is. This is the financial cost, because that finance you are going to be used, your company going to be used. That's why you have to pay something to them. That is called the interest. This is the financial cost. That is written over here. So this total figure, the total figure is to be sum of the figure what is written over here. This is to go to the income statement. Again, you see here some of the distribution cost. Maybe the what are the distribution cost? Basically, when the company is going to expanding the business, maybe some of the marketing activities going to be taken up. So to increase the sales, some of the activities or some of the function is to be done by the organization. All they are said the distribution cost. Sales, you are interested to increase the sales. That's why all the strategy, all the actions which to be taken by the business are under the distribution cost. What they are, maximum numbers of distribution cost is written over here. More or less this figure you have to get in your question paper. First of all, sales commission. Nowadays the big organization, they are selling their product through the agent or salesperson. So that is the sales your that salesperson or the agent is subject to give some of the commission. Maybe you are sending the product to the sales agent, and once they are sold the product, then they have to receive some of the commission. This is the sales commission. So first of all, it is written over here, sales commission. Then the traveling expense. To expanding the business, those are the salesperson or the executive of the organization, they are frequently visiting inside the country, outside the country, in order to expand the sales, in order to increase the sales. So that's why traveling expense is one of the distribution cost. That is written over here. Shop rent, maybe some of the outlets, you have the big organization, lot of outlets is set up around the country or outside the country, whatever it is. This maybe sometimes you have the own premises, but most of the cases you are hiring some of the places or some of the building where you can set up your shop. So some of the rent is to be given to them. This is the shop rent. You see marketing director or sales director salary or commission like this, or the fees. Marketing director or sales director, it is they are working to improve the sales of the company. That's why they are given some of the salary. Their salary is to be treated under the distribution cost. And the carriage outward or delivery cost, when the goods is to be produced, maybe that goods need to be reached to the different outlets, maybe to our customers. So again, some of the cost, carrying cost is over there, or delivery cost is over there, that also be borne by the organization. That is the carrying cost or delivery cost. Then depreciation of motor vehicles, maybe in the marketing department, a lot of vehicles is over there, because a lot of customer you have and their outlets, you need to reach your product to their outlets. So some of the transport costs, some of the vehicles over there, and that vehicles need to be depreciated, because vehicles anytime that is to be dysfunctional or it is to be out of use, within time that is to be replaced. So depreciation is the common element for any organization. Whatever the vehicle, fleet of vehicles you have, and that vehicles depreciation must be. So this is the depreciation of motor vehicles. Then the fuel cost, whenever the motor vehicles is going to be operated, the fuel obviously over there to be used, that cost is the same as the fuel cost. Then the promotion and advertising. Promotion, whenever you are going to expanding the business, maybe this is only the way to make the advertisement or promotional strategy, so that you can get more customer, you can sell your product more and more to the different organization or to the different market. So you have to require make more and more advertisement, so that your product is to be known to the different category customer. So more sales is to be developed. So this is called the promotion and advertising cost. Again, motor vehicle running cost. Motor vehicle, the different item, maybe motor vehicle, some companies it is written as a carriage outward, but some of the companies written motor vehicle running expenses. So the objective is that this is to be used to receive your product to the different customers. Motor vehicle running cost. Again, shop staff wages. Maybe if you have the lot of outlets, lot of showroom, then obviously some of the sales manager as well as sales staff is over there. Their salary and other allowances, fringe benefits is to be written as a shop staff wages. Transport staff wages. Maybe a lot of transport or lot of vehicles you have. So they are the driver, they are the helper, or the other people is associated to the vehicles or operating the vehicles properly. So their salaries This is the said as transport staff salaries. That is to be written over here. This is one of the expense of distribution cost. Again, the warehouse cost. Warehouse cost, once the goods is to be produced, that need to be reached to the sales department. So some of the warehouse, the goods produced, that goods to be kept in a safety place. That place is said the warehouse. So warehouse cost also the distribution cost. And shop premises depreciation. Where the shop premises is over there, anytime anything can happen. That's why that premises, according to the company law, according to the company's policies, you have to make some of the depreciation of your showroom or shop premises. So that is the shop premises depreciation. Now all the figure is to be add up. The total figure is to come over here, and this to go to the income statement. You see the administrative expense. Whatever the administrative expense are normally be given into the question paper, more or less that item you have to get in your question paper. And whenever the question paper is over there, you have to pick this item. More or less the elements which are normally or the component of administrative expense is written in over here. First item is over here. You see bad debt. Bad debt, what is called bad debt? Maybe if it is the big organization, they are selling their product on credit terms. Those who are buying the product, this is your customer. Sometimes customer is paying the money properly and according to the law, according to the condition, terms and conditions. But some of the people, some of the customers of yours cannot pay their amount properly. Somebody's business is making loss, or sometimes some of the people is surrendering, paying some of the money, maybe a small amount, or they are not unable to pay. So that money, according to the company policy, you have to leave it, you have to ignore it. So this is one of the expenses, bad debt expenses. The money cannot be recovered from them. That's why it is to be treated as a bad debt expense. This is the normal expense for any business. This is one of the element of administrative expense. Again, the discount allowed. Discount allowed may be your customer. You are giving some of the facilities. The cash discount. Maybe you are requested your customer, please pay early and take some of the discount. So this is the cash discount. That discount given to the customers. Sometimes this discount can be treated in the distribution cost. Whatever the basically most of the organization is treating the discount allowed as an administrative expense. But if you can write in the distribution expense, that equally accepted. Then finance director or manager salary. Finance director's salary or the finance manager salary is one of the element of administrative expense. Accounting staff salary. Maybe the lot of junior accountant is over there, mid-level accountant is over there. Their salary and then fringe benefit also be treated as an administrative expense. Then the office stationery or stationery expenses. This is very common for any organization. Maybe the paperweights or the pencils, rulers or whatever it is. So this is one of the elements of a stationery. That is one of the expenses for the business, the stationery expense. The admin staff salary. Maybe whenever the administration is going to be operated properly, then a lot of administration staff is to be appointed, and their salary and other benefit is said as the admin staff or administrative staff salary or other fringe benefit. Then the insurance cost. This is one of the elements, very common element for any organization. The insurance cost. Maybe anything can happen. Maybe the building where you are just operating or your business is located, that business damaged by the earthquake or caught by fire, or some of the machineries or some of the elements of your head office is stolen. So that's why you are doing the business in under some of the risk. So this risk can be minimized by making the insurance to the different insurance company, maybe the property insurance, machinery insurance, or the other elements, expensive elements. You can make the insurance. So this is one of the expense for the business. And if you make the insurance, then obviously if any damage is done, the insurance company is to pay you the compensation. Then the lighting, heating is a common expense for any organization. Maybe the AC, tube lights, or whatever it is, you are using the power. So that is the lighting and heating. Debt collection fees. These are another elements. Debt collection fees. Maybe sometimes some of the customers you are going to sue, and maybe that people is very tricks, is using many tricks to you, so that they can avoid the payment to you. This time you can appoint some of the organization or some of the agent to collect your debt. Maybe that person, your customer, is making tricks with you. So that person is taking the responsibility, collecting money from the customers. So their fees is to be said as a debt collection fees to the agent. That is one of the expenses for the administration. Then there are computers, ACs, or other device which is used by the business, maybe the laptops. So like that. So that depreciation is to be written under the administrative expense. Then the depreciation on office cars, maybe lot of officers in the administrative office. So their card and the card depreciation also be written as administrative expense. This is the depreciation on office cars. Then the professional fees. Professional fees means sometimes you are appointing some of the lawyer or some of the professional accountant to audit your financial reports. So that their fee is one of the expenses, administrative expenses for the business. So now this all expenses is to be added up, total figure you got. So only this total figure is to come to the income statement. Here the income statement is given over here, the income statement for the year ended. Only the figure you have already got, or you have already calculated in the annexure. Oh, that figure is to come over here. You see here the net sales, turnover or revenue. To first of all you to write this, and from that figure you to subtract the cost of sales, which is calculated over here. The cost of sales. This amount, maybe the figure altogether figure, total figure, that is to be written as cost of sales. This is to be separated from the sales or revenue. The figure you got, that is the gross profit for the organization, total profit of the organization, and it is written as gross profit. And from the gross profit, some of the other income which is calculated over here, the other income, the total figure you got, that figure is to be written under the gross profit. This figure is to be added up with the gross profit. Then total figure you have to go by adding the other income. Then you have to subtract the operational cost or the operating cost. Here the operating cost. Operating cost is two types. One is the selling and distribution cost, another is the office and administrative expense, which is already calculated over here. The distribution cost, total figure, and the administrative cost, total figure over here. So this figure is to come over here. Distribution cost, administrative cost. These two cost is operating cost. That is to be written. That figure be subtracted from the total sales. Total gross profit. The figure you got, operating profit before interest and taxes. The figure you got, this figure is to be said operating profit or ordinary activities profit before interest and taxes. This is the figure, and from that figure you have to subtract the financial cost. Financial cost means maybe whenever you take some of the loan or some debenture is sold, their interest, which is already calculated over here. The financial cost over here, interest on debenture, interest on bank loan, like this cost, the total figure you got over here, that figure is to be written as a financial cost. So this financial cost need to be subtracted from the operating profit before interest and taxes. So this is interest mean the financial cost. Financial cost is means the interest. So this figure is to be subtracted from the operating profit before interest and taxes. The figure you got, that is the operating profit before taxes. That is to be written operating profit before taxes. And then from this figure you have to subtract the tax expenses. Whatever the total tax is to be given, maybe it is the limited company, more or less 35 or 36% normally tax given to the government exchequer. So that figure is the tax. So tax is to be paid, tax expenses is to be paid. Finally you got the net profit after tax. This profit is normally be used for calculating the dividends to the shareholder or other the appropriations. So this statement, this is a small statement, but big calculation is over there. Sometimes some of the students like you getting a lot of elements is over there, confused in where it is to be posted. If it is the normal income statement, the expenses item you can write sales less cost of goods sold gross profit, and from that gross profit you can write over there, but no categorized. No distribution cost, not like the administrative costs or the financial, that is not needed. But since it is the public limited company always guided by the company law. So there some of the instruction is given. This is to be done according to the FRS 1 Financial Reporting System 1 or IAS International Accounting Standard 7. According to that, that is to be furnished, and it is to be acceptable to the government, tax authority or other authority. Otherwise, if it is not done like this way, no income statement is to be accepted. This is true for the public limited company. This is the income statement. In respect of balance sheet, there is no other formalities, but some of the guidelines is over there. Maybe first of all you to write the tangible assets, then you have to be intangible assets. Tangible assets which can be touched, which can be seen, and accordingly you have to subtract the depreciation. The figure is to be written. Then the intangible asset. What is the intangible asset? Intangible asset, maybe it cannot be seen, but its existence is over in the company. So that is the intangible, maybe the goodwill, maybe the license, maybe the patents. These all are the intangibles that also be written as a fixed asset for the business, fixed and a strong asset for the business, like this. Maybe then the current asset. The current asset, maybe it is the closing inventory, account receivable, other receivable, prepaid expenses, cash and cash equivalent, like this. It will add that. Then total asset you have to be written. Non-current asset, intangible asset plus current asset, all are to be added up. Then this figure is to be closed, the total assets. Now the equities and liabilities. First of all, you can write the equity sections. They are the share capital, maybe some of the general reserve, maybe some of the research and development reserve, maybe there are some of the share premium, maybe there are some of the retained earnings, like this. So the equity sections, and they are the long-term liability and short-term liability. Maybe you have taken loan from the bank or you are selling the debenture. This is a long-term liability, to write as a long-term liability over there. Again, the short-term liability, which liability is to be paid less than 1 year, that is to be written. Maybe sometimes it is said as the current liability, so that is to be written over there. Maybe the creditors, maybe the expenses owing, maybe taxation owing, taxation provision. So this type of expense normally come to the current liability. So non-current liability plus current liability and long-term loan, like this. So then total figure is to be added up. It must be matched or agreed with the total assets given above. So this is the income statement and the balance sheet of the public limited company. So my next video one, break-even point analysis, one of the important tools of the management. You are requested to watch that if you are feel to have. So dear viewers, dear friends, as usual, if the video is helpful for you or it is benefiting to you, please make a like and subscribe my channel. And again, thanks for watching. Have a nice time. Goodbye.